Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you guys are having a good day, evening, or wherever you're watching this, but I'm here at the archery range getting ready to do a little video for you. I just got a Bowmar Nose Button, so I'm going to give you some before speeds, I'm going to show you the install, and I'm going to give you some after speeds. And then I'll give you kind of my thoughts and review on it, just to get some information out there on it. And if you guys want to help support us, make sure you check out our shop. The link will be in the description of the video. And along with that, a great way for you guys to support us, if you enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button. That is going to help us get exposure. And if you don't want to spend $25 on a hat, hit that like button for us. That's a huge help in getting this video some exposure. If there's anything in this video that you guys think you want to buy, or you like the looks of it, we will put links in the description, Amazon links in the description of things that we have in this video. So you can click those links and you can purchase whatever you like out of this video. All right, let's get started here. I am going to shoot 10 arrows, get their speed, show you guys the speed, and then I need to head to work. At lunch today, I will break out the nose button. I'll show you guys how to tie it in. I'll get it set up for me. And then tomorrow morning, we'll shoot 10 more arrows with the nose button, show you the speeds, and then I will also let you guys know kind of my initial thoughts, how I feel about it. It's different. I've always touched my nose to the string, but I think from what I've read, this is just gonna help you do it more consistently and hopefully affect your downrange accuracy. For your reference, I'm shooting 75 pounds, 30.5-inch draw, and a 427 grain arrow. So they hit pretty hard, but I still get pretty good speed out of them from what you guys can see. And I'm pretty curious to see how much the nose button will affect it. I think it'll maybe be like 3 to 4 feet per second, if that. All right, so there you guys can see average of 311, high of 313, low of 310, spread of 3 feet per second, and a standard deviation of 0.7 with 10 shots. All right, hey again, everybody. So I just got home for lunch. I've got my scale calibrated, and I'm gonna weigh both the small and the large one, along with some serving that they sent with it to see what they weigh, to give you guys an idea what they weigh. Okay, let's add the small one first. Oh, change my units. 0.8 grains. 0.9. And along with some serving, we're at 1.7 grains. Now we'll grab the large one. 1.8. Then with serving, 3.6 grains. So these are actually smaller than what I thought they were also. I scrounged up an extra Peep Sight. It's a Rad Super Deuce. And I'm gonna show you guys kind of a comparison as to their size versus this Peep Sight. And I'm pretty amazed by this, because looking at the videos and watching videos online, you don't really notice how small they actually are. I thought the big one looked massive online and the small one looked like a normal size. But yeah, I'll show you guys this real quick. Okay, so here's my Peep Sight. Here's the small one. And here is the large one. I've got the small one right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and slide it on the string. There's a slot. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a slot about right there that just pops right onto the string. I'm just gonna slide it. Oh, pops pretty easy right on the string, and I'm just gonna estimate about where I think it needs to be. I think that feels pretty good. I'll leave it there for now and we'll work on tying it in. Okay, so I'm getting ready to tie this on. I've got my serving. I'm not going to use the same serving they sent because I want to use the silver that I have everywhere else. And then I also looked up how to tie the constrictor knot. Josh Bowmar has a pretty good video showing it. I'm going to try to show you guys how to do it also. Once again, this is how they recommend tying it because it just works very well for these nose buttons. Okay. Take number 9.
No, this is 8.
This is 8. Okay. We're going to try her again. I watched the video again, and we're going to see if I got it this time. Go over. We're going to hold this end fairly snug. Wrap it this way. Then each time we want to wrap it back over the end in my left hand. So that's 2. Go one more. Now find our groove. Loosen the knot a little bit. There we go. Pull this tight. There we go. All right, since I got the constrictor knot tied, I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of the press while it's still loose, and I'm gonna double check my location before I tighten it down. All right, so I pulled her out of the press. I checked to make sure it was in the right spot. I did have to move it a little bit, and now we're ready to tighten it. So I'm just gonna pull on these 2 ends, get her nice and tight there. Okay, right now I can kind of move it a little bit. I think I'm gonna grab some Allen wrenches and get it tighter. Okay, dug up a couple Allen wrenches. I'm gonna wrap this around here. I'll wrap this one. Nice and snug. Okay, that doesn't seem to be moving now. A little bit bigger than I like it, but okay, there we go. All set. Okay, got it just touching the tip of my nose. And that's pretty comfortable for me. I was finally able to get it on there. The constrictor knot was kind of a pain in the butt, but I also only watched the video that Josh made twice. So it's just a difficult knot, nothing that can't be done. I probably should have paid more attention the first time I watched Josh's video, but after 9 tries, I got her done. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna hit the range again and we will check some speeds on it. All right, my summary for that one. We got an average of 311, high of 313, low of 309, spread of 4, and a deviation of 1.2. So that's not really what I thought would happen, but I'll take it. That's fairly impressive. Like I said, it was pretty lighter than I thought it would be, so there obviously wasn't as much of a speed reduction as you would expect. I've got one more test I want to do. One of the main things I was kind of curious about is what happens when you slide your sight down. So if you're familiar with slider sights, as you get further down your slider sight, there's going to be a point where you have to start floating your anchor. So what that is generally as you move your sight down, you're going to have to float this to see through your peep sight a little bit. So I was wondering if as I get to 100 yards and beyond, am I going to have to actually float off of that? So I'm going to go ahead and try it. I obviously can't shoot 100 yards in here, but I'm just going to slide my sight down at 100 yards and see how it feels, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, I'm finding that I am having to float it a little bit, but one advantage I think to this is going to be that while you're floating, you're going to have that feedback as to where your nose is at on the string. So you may be floating, but you're also not dropping out of your peep because you can feel that tip, the point. You can always feel it on your nose. I'm going to try it at, we're going to go all the way down. We're going to go to 150, which is the bottom of my sight tape. And normally I have to float this pretty bad. I normally have my jaw most of the way open as I'm shooting at 150. So we're going to give this a go. So there, I'm not even touching it on that one, which that could just be me having it too far up, too far into my nose. If I had it more towards the tip of my nose, I think I would still be touching it there. And once again, I am having to float it. But if I can move it up a little bit, I'll still be getting that feedback on my nose, which I think will be helpful. One thing I didn't mention last night as I was setting this up on my bow is I actually shoot a 5-pin slider with my pins at 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. And as I'm setting this up and as I'm hunting, I leave my sight set at 60 on my sight tape. So my bottom pin is always 60 and my top pin is always 20. And then as you dial it up or down, you get whatever your sight tape says, similar to a single pin. And you guys who shoot these are familiar with it. But you want to make sure you set the nose button height at the most common location of your sight. So since I'm always leaving my sight at 60 as I'm hunting, because generally I'll be able to get shots below 60, you want to make sure you set the nose button at that at that yardage. That way you're comfortable at your most common sight pin location, and then as you have to lengthen it out or shoot a little bit further, you will generally have to float a little bit. So similar to a peep sight, set it at either on a single pin, set it at your average yardage, or on a 5-pin slider or a 3-pin slider, set it at the most common yardage setting that you use. My initial thoughts on the nose button, I kind of like it. It's it's nice to have that positive feedback on your nose. I think this is going to be very beneficial. For example, this turkey season, when I would like to be wearing a face mask. So you'll be able to feel that through your face mask on your nose. It's great that you don't lose any speed for the small one. Once again, I didn't test the big one. I can't say anything to that. The big one was a bit heavier, which obviously happens when you get a bigger piece of plastic. But overall, I do like it. I'm excited to shoot more with it, shoot at longer yardages with it, see if it does help improve my grouping, and see if it does help prevent me from falling out of my Peep Sight when I do need to float my anchor a little bit. As far as things I didn't really like, there really wasn't any. The Constrictor knot is difficult, but I don't think that should be a reason not to buy one. It took me eight or nine times. I don't remember what it was last night, but I also, if you pull up the video and watch the video as you're doing it, it's gonna be easier. That's definitely not a reason to not buy one. Really, I can't think of any cons to it. The nice thing about this versus just using a knock set or something as a nose button is gonna be that positive feedback. This thing, it almost hurts a little bit as it touches your nose. So one thing after I get to shooting with it for a little bit, I might do is I might melt the tip a little bit, but right now I don't know if that's gonna be an issue. I think I'll get used to it. I think it's just different now, so I'm not used to it yet. So I'm gonna get some time behind it before I make any modifications. And then another thing I might change is I might actually serve it in. The Constrictor knot holds it well, but I am still able to slide it up and down, and I feel like I cranked on that thing pretty tight last night. So I might throw some serving above it and below it and just serve it in. That's obviously gonna make it a little bit heavier, which, okay, not a big deal. Other than that, I like it. I'm excited to keep shooting with it, and I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you guys are checking out our Instagram. That's probably where I'll be keeping you updated at. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to pick up some hats, hit the link below. We'll have it in our description. And then if there's anything in this video that you want to get, the links will all be down below. So check those out, click those links, and then also don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. That is a huge help to us. That's something that is very, very helpful in getting us exposure, especially if you don't really feel like you want to buy a hat or anything and you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. We really appreciate it. We appreciate everything you guys do for us, and I'll see you on the next one.